Good evening, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight and seeing one of the last films of this year's DocLands Documentary Film Festival. My name's Kelly Clement. I'm one of the programmers for the festival and also program for the Mill Valley Film Festival, so I recognize a lot of you out there over the years. Well, you're here to see a marvelous film tonight, and it's one of the best films that I saw in the submissions category. And it has a special connection to the DocLands Film Festival that we'll tell you about in a minute. But you're going to see an amazing film. In my job as programmer, I see lots and lots of dark movies, disability docs, disease docs, but this one is different. It's a refreshing look at a subject that isn't talked about much, and it could have been presented in many different ways. It could have been a very dark, serious film, but this one comes out about as well balanced between lighthearted humor and honesty, and a look at marriage, family, disease, close-knit parents and siblings. Very rare documentary. And I'd like to bring up the director of Mom and Dad's Nipple Factory.
Thank you.
We have JUSTINSUPERSTAR.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, I just want to give a big shout out to DocLands. I felt so welcomed here. This is our West Coast premiere. Thank you, Joni, everyone else on the team. You guys have been so great. It's very appropriate. It's so great that we were scheduled on Mother's Day, because this is really the core of the story is my parents' incredible love story and really the way that they've been able to build this incredible thing together. So hopefully you got some extra tissues from your popcorn. You will cry, maybe. You'll probably laugh, hopefully. But at the end, I hope you come away with a really powerful message. And Mom, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. She's here. So we're going to have special guests After the credits roll, we're going to have a Q&A. We have special guests here. We have family members who are in the film who have never seen it. So if you're going to laugh extra hard so they think they're extra funny. That'll be helpful.
We promise.
And there's a super secret special prize for one of you if you stick around till the end. So I'll leave you with that. But please enjoy the film, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to mention, I want to thank all our sponsors and all our donors and all of you for helping to support this festival and make it what it is. Make sure you turn off your electronic devices, and remember that this is up for the audience awards, so be sure to collect your ballots and drop them off at the end. I'll be back after the screening for a great Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, JUSTINSUPERSTAR.
There we go. So Dad can never make it out because he's always busy. That's what he tells us. So I'd love for you guys just to give a little like, hey, Dad, cheers. So this is for Dad. Everyone say hi. Okay. All right. That will be just enough for him. He'll watch that video and he'll go take a nap. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I think the first special guest I want to introduce here on Mother's Day is, of course, my mom, who's here, Randi. Okay, gotta give a hug, okay. I didn't get her a card. So, no.
Just a movie.
I made a movie. That's it.
8 years in the making.
Yeah.
And you have another special guest too, right?
Yeah, so Jason, my sister Kari, so Jason, I'll have him come up first here. He was a producer. I met Jason through DocPitch in 2021, through being one of the entrants. Even though we didn't get the top prize, Jason still kind of discovered us through that, which is pretty incredible. My sister Kari is also here. Come on up, Kari. She's been back there doing independent research the whole time. And my Aunt Kirsten, it's her first time seeing the film. I'd love for her to come up as well. Aunt Kirsten. Yeah, so, what's your one-word review here?
Amazing.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, that's good. That's going to go on our Rotten Tomatoes score right there.
Well, just to remind everyone, or if you didn't know, this was a finalist at the DocPitch Festival in
2021. That's how they mentioned. Yeah.
And so thank you very much for putting us in the credits.
I think I was contractually obligated to.
Jason, do you want to tell how you got involved in this?
Well, coincidentally. So yeah, Justin was, and for people that don't know what DocPitch is, because I think probably some of you don't, it's a competition where some films get picked, five finalists get picked, and they compete for a $25,000 grant, which is a huge for independent filmmakers. And Justin was a finalist 2 years ago, and I vote every year. I get to watch the films and vote. And I saw Justin's little 5-minute teaser and was really just loved it, even though it was just a little snippet and it was Justin sort of groveling for money. But I absolutely loved it. He did not win. He did not win the big prize. And I cold called him right after and said, I voted for you. I'm sorry you didn't win, but I absolutely love your project. If I can ever be of any help, let me know. And I don't know, within a few weeks, I was a producer on the film, and here we are 2 years later here at DocLands, who sponsors DocPitch. So this is sort of very full circle for us. This was sort of a DocPitch marriage. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So happy Mother's Day to you for helping me.
For this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just want to mention that this is, it had its premiere in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, so we were the opening night film at the Milwaukee Film Festival, which was incredible. We had a sold-out theater of 1,000 wonderful other fellow Midwesterners who were able to enjoy this truly like a surreal experience, especially editing over the pandemic and not really being able to see it with an audience. And Mom made it out, and I mean, Mom, what was your experience that night?
It was like being in a fairy tale. It was this gorgeous renovated theater called the Oriental Theater in Milwaukee. And almost a lot of our kids came, and it was intense because we drove up and then it was the event, and then we drove back, and then a couple of days later there were 3 in Minneapolis. So it was quite a ride.
Yeah, and Dad finally got to see the film with people at the Minneapolis International Film Festival, and Mom can let you know his review of the final product.
Just in case anyone asked, I asked him, so what do you think of the film? And he said, it's very well done. I just rather would have not been in it.
So yeah, that's my dad.
And at both festivals, you won audience awards, right?
Yes, but I think it's something that was like a true honor, and I think really just kind of being a reflection of my parents is really what has been incredible for this journey. We are up for vote tonight, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this film. We're really, I hope, just starting our festival journey. So every step along the way is absolutely critical. So please, consider us for a high level vote if you liked it. But yeah, we started this project. As with all things, we started it with a lie that are great, right? So I told Mom, what did I tell you initially for this? What this is going to be?
Well, you said, I'm thinking about doing a 5 to 7 minute feature.
Yeah, times 12. So there we are. And yeah, it was just this incredible experience to be able to really get to know my parents better and the business better, and really be able to grow the family closeness through.
And
this.
he moved back.
That's the part that always makes Mom cry.
It does.
It's been years now, so it's too late. I'm not. California hasn't fallen off into the ocean, so
No.
we're all good.
No.
Thank you very much. No, but it's just been such an incredible journey, and I think to come back to DocLands is so great because Jason has been such an incredible part of this process. It's such a deeply personal film, and to have someone who really is able to help us look at it from like a farther perspective was just awesome. So I want to give, this is hometown crowd here, I want to give a round of applause for Jason.
Yay!
Yep. That was a bit of a layup considering I know about 80% of the people in the audience. So
That was a test.
Well, let's open it up to the audience, huh?
Thank you. That was a great film. It seemed like one of the lessons of it was that it's really good to be normal, both in having nipples and also in like being Midwestern and cottage industry, not, being immodest about your professions and your entrepreneurship. But what was missing for me was like the normativity of the nipple as a sexual object, as opposed to just like an image of normality. Like people suck on those things, So I'm just curious
Who knows what happens to these things. So you don't have to get into specific.
what your opinion is on the on that. Thanks.
You know what? We make them, and whatever happens after that is okay. It's not our business.
I think that was an answer. I think for us, really, it's one of those things that is a little thing, but it is a big thing for just feeling whole again. And it was that little Midwestern barrier of awkwardness that kept us from bringing it up. And I think for any family, having any kind of secret can be poisonous and can be destructive. And so I'm just very lucky that my parents allowed me to tell this story. And really through telling this story, there's so many families that like have very different beliefs. And there have been a lot of estrangements and other things. And so my sister Kari had a great quote. I'm gonna steal it from, you can tell us. So I was the kind of the black sheep, but Kari.
Yeah, so Justin really makes a point in the film of how much of a black sheep he is, and that was kind of true in real life. He went out and he told Mom, I don't believe what you believe. He really tried to leave the fold. And my mom, instead of letting him go off and be the black sheep, she expanded the fence. She would not have a fence that didn't include her son. So I think that's just such a testament to her, because I think there's a lot of families where that doesn't happen. So I just really appreciate that. Happy Mother's Day.
it's better than a greeting card.
Yeah, better than a greeting card, exactly.
I have a question. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful film. It's so human and humane. But how do people access it? Are you on any streaming services, or how is it distributed, or what's the story there?
Are you a distributor? Yeah, I think that's kind of the zeitgeist right now. It's like it's a tough year for films that aren't about celebrities or athletes or things that have been ripped from the headlines. This hasn't been ripped from the headlines, right? So that's something we're still figuring out now. Certainly, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming in October. We're out to tons and tons of festivals, and this is really the beginning. I hope you all can look back in a year and be like, oh yeah, that thing that's popular now. I was there in the third screening, but yeah, we're very early on that journey. So follow us on social, like amplify the message here. Like this is a little story, but I think it's also a big story. And so everyone here, we can all be a part of getting this out there, because I do think it's important.
This is for Mom. Was there ever a real model for this nipple? This is your chance to speak to this very confined group here.
Our dentist said, I don't want to know who this belongs to, because it's kind of obvious who Eve belongs to. But then, of course, we do have various models, and so they have been from different clients. Initially, we used to have them, if they had just one natural nipple, we would have them make a mold of it. And then, as it mentioned, once you get a certain number, the patterns are enough alike. It's never going to be exactly the same. So we're really kind of semi-custom. But there are other companies out there now that they'll charge you a lot more too, but they will do more highly customized than we do. So we're kind of approximate.
Yeah, and I think that brings up a good point. Like, mom and dad, very frugal folks from Wisconsin. A lot of people ask, like, what's going to happen next with this business? But it really, for them, it's like they're providing a ministry, they're providing a service, and it's really not like a profit type of a thing. So we get asked, like, who's going to take over the business? And what's been really great is that over the last 12 years since they started this, technology has really changed. And I'll let mom talk a little bit to that.
Well, like I said, there are other companies that will provide a similar service more than there was initially, but also there is new exciting technology of nipple grafts that they kind of take out all the cells and then they actually surgically attached. And so that will likely provide, there's clinical studies right now. I think one is in San Francisco, Dr. Karen Horton. I should have invited her. So there are going to be more and more and new and better ways for this. And I think, with breast cancer too, there are women, everyone's different, and men get it too, and it's a real issue. But I think we all have to know what can we do and what can't we do. And if it's kind of like the serenity prayer, to change the things you can and accept what you can't. And so there's a certain level, there's many women who are happy just to have no reconstruction, to just be flat or to not have nipples. It's all so individual, but it's learning to love ourselves with the new normal, as people often say. So,
yeah, I'd love to.
If there's anything going on internationally,
we have been there, done that, and are done with that. For us personally, for our business, we don't ship internationally. Some people who are in other countries have a shipping address. It's U.S., so we do that. There are other companies that will do international.
I'd love to ask my Aunt Kirsten, who's seeing this for the very first time and probably heard my dad say more words in the last 81 minutes than their entire 40 year. What were your thoughts seeing this for the first time?
Well, I one of the things is that, I have seen over the years what a wonderful husband your father is for your mother. And I have appreciated that about him. But I had no idea of the extent of his inventiveness and his curiosity and his willingness to explore. And so I just have a much more nuanced and comprehensive appreciation of your father. And of course, I've known your mom since she was born. I've always loved and appreciated her. And this showcases some of the reasons that she is so universally loved.
I agree. Jeez.
Did you ever think about doing this in a more serious mode?
The film or the business?
The film.
Oh, I think the really important thing about the film is that, like, it is something that can push people's boundaries to some degree. And there were even close friends of mine, their dad didn't want to come to the screening because it was about nipples. And I think, as with anything, that even if it is a little bit tough to talk about, certainly coming from the Midwest, a little bit of humor is super important. And I think for breast cancer survivors, having a story that is a positive story, a happy ending that will make you laugh, like that, I think as the people we've talked to, it's been really powerful. So for me, like, I've always wanted to make entertaining, fun stuff, and I appreciate the tough stuff, but I wanted this to be something that people walk away with a smile and maybe a few tears, and yeah, but humor is super important to this.
Oh, bless you.
I just wanted to add one thing to that. As far as this being a serious film, I was drawn to it because of the humor and the heart, right? When I first saw the trailer, but originally this film, Justin was more of a narrator, just sort of telling the story of his family. And one thing that we worked on, and Noah, our other producer who's not here, and kudos to Justin for doing it. I've never made a personal film before, but to put his life out there, and he talked about some of the messy stuff, and we all have that, and it's part of life. But we felt like that was something that really needed to be included, and it completely changed the film. And Justin got to get therapy. It was a lot cheap. I don't know if it was. Well, maybe it wasn't cheaper. Making a film is not necessarily cheaper than a therapy session,
so that's good.
But it was really helpful for Justin, and it was such a benefit for the film to understand this struggle, and then where he and his mom were at, and what this business did, and how it brought him back, and everything kind of came full circle. So, going from a narrator to a character is sort of a big leap, and kudos to him for taking that leap of faith.
Thank you. It's
And just on the topic of the serious versus humor, lighthearted, I was having a conversation today, and just it wouldn't be a movie about our mom if it was serious and really dark. She just exudes joy and humor, and that's just the way we learned to be. And so to be in her circle is to be in kind of a light-filled, joyous place. So it just wouldn't honor the spirit of her and our family if it was dark.
It's an adventure. It's all an adventure.
Yeah.
And Justin has been funny since he was born. So there's no other way he could do this. And actually, people look at Brian and I and they go, how can he be your son? He's so funny.
Having watched many, many home videos, I'll assure you I'm not funny.
Oh.
So before I forget, we do have an extremely special gift here. So if you have a little piece of blue tape on the side of your chair, you're going to be in row G, probably seat number 9. Look down. There's a very special gift. Can you raise your hand if you're in G9 or nearby it and want to steal that piece of tape? Let's see. Might be the guy that asked the nipple question. Let's see if everyone find G. It's a little piece of blue painter's tape on the side. This is way more exciting than I thought. Okay. Jason, you want to bring that down? G9. We have a winner over here, guys. This is a very premium gift here. And open it, and you'll have to tell us. Yeah, there we go. So open it and tell us what's inside, and you can say it as loud as you can.
Oh, microphone.
I'll give her a microphone.
Oh yeah, here.
Bring it down.
The wood blocks.
It's wood. It's wood.
Blocks. The wood blocks. These are great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're now just as poor as we were growing up.
My grandson and granddaughter will play with these. I'll keep going.
Thank you.
But I asked for a microphone because I have a little story to tell. It just happened yesterday, actually. I was telling a good friend of mine who's in the Midwest. I'm originally from the Midwest, too. She has had breast cancer. She's undergone reconstructive surgery, but she needs to have more. And one of the issues has to do with her nipples. And she said, Mary Beth, I want you to come back after you've seen the film and tell me about it. Call me and let me know what they say, because I need some help as to how to proceed with this. So thank you so much. This is really amazing that I was able to get this. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell the name of the website.
Oh yeah, it's naturallyimpressive.com, and you can find it. And you'd be surprised. There was a major breast cancer organization that had called Mom, and we won't say who exactly, but it was, and they called you, and what was their reaction?
Well, first of all, she said, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And she was like the executive, she's the executive director for Wisconsin. And she goes, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And she had a personal need. She had a 3D tattoo, but she really wanted the dimension. But she said, I thought I knew everything about breast cancer. Everything. She said, but I had never heard of nipple prosthetics. You know, and I think it was because, like, back in the day when we started, they were cheap, they fell off, they weren't anything that doctors even wanted to recommend, and so I think they dismissed them. So that was pretty amazing to me.
So we got to wrap this up, but Justin, what's next?
Well, after my first feature doc, I was like, I'm never doing that again. So this is number 2. Really, for me, I want to get back to my creative roots a little more, and just I've been doing internet video for 25 years. Just be putting more stuff up on YouTube and things like that. And this project was 8 years in the making, and it's going to be really tough to top this. But it's just been an absolute honor and completely life-changing. And a huge part of this was all y'all, DocPitch, DocLands. Just to be back here is such an honor, especially on Mother's Day. If you guys do a Father's Day thing, just let me know. Because we will screen again, next year. But yeah, I just want to thank you all so much. Everyone's been so wonderful to us, and this has changed my life. And if it wasn't for DocPitch and for Jason, it probably would have never gotten done. Certainly not in the way it is now. So thank you all so much, and give yourself a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.